How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my patch season 15 first patch, mid-patch update. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to do a quick patch preview as well as a big summary for Yorick on this current patch. If you just want the short version, I think, honestly, Yorick is extremely good right now. I think there's a lot of the current changes that have gone through that have made Yorick extremely nice in the top lane. Jungle Yorick took a bit of a hit. It's a bit hard when everyone plays very group for jungle because I like it when there's chaos because people don't coordinate very well. And when there's not much coordination, you start catching people in jungles, in rotations, no one's protecting these objectives, and you start to really farm these objectives as Yorick. When everyone's running around as 5, because there's an objective alive every 2 minutes of the game, it gets a bit difficult sometimes to progress or to find your footing early in the game. So, look, I think there's a lot more skill to Yorick now than any other patch. He's not bad. It's just jungle particularly, he is really difficult to pilot. And we'll go over a few things as the video progresses anyway. So, just a quick little summary of the changes they're doing. They're just going to make it so that, most importantly, this is the big one. It's the bloody petals experience from whenever there's the Atakhan that gives all the roses everywhere. The petals are giving less experience. This is so big for jungle Yorick, it's insane. Because right now, everyone is so over-leveled. It doesn't matter how well you do early game. For some reason, these petals are just giving everybody so much experience. There were so many games, I'd be like 6-0. The enemy jungle would be 0-5. And all of a sudden, he's only 1 level behind me after Atakhan. I just didn't understand why anything was going on the way it was going. There's a buff to the domination runes. I'm extremely excited for this. You probably haven't seen it yet, but there's a new build that I'm currently running where I'm running domination secondary instead. So I'm really looking forward to this. We get to use this really well. But apart from the rest of it, it says that there's a Yorick nerf, but it's only swift play. So don't get too stressed. It's only swift play. Don't worry about it one bit. Now, we'll go over a quick little summary of what's going on so far. So right now, we're midway. We're almost at Master. I've played probably 40 games on the new patch. I've played a lot of games. I've got the feel of it by now. It definitely looks like, in my honest opinion, Feats of Strength is significantly overrated. I think everyone is tunneling on this Feats of Strength. And seriously, guys, it's so easy to manipulate the game because of this Feats of Strength. It is hilarious. I promise you right now, if you're playing Yorick jungle, all you need to do is don't do anything, just farm early. What ends up happening is around about level 5, the enemy jungle goes, oh, grubs are spawning. They run right to the grubs. All you gotta do is build your first item lethality, get 4 ghouls, run straight to the dragon, and you start a really nice snowball off the dragon. If you're lucky, you get a scuttle, but usually what ends up happening is their buff starts respawning as well very soon. You can literally just control the entire bot side of the map. While everyone tunnels around these grubs, sometimes the support runs top to go get grubs. Meanwhile, you just go dragon and then dive the AD carry after. I can't tell you how many games I've won just because for some reason everyone focuses on grubs as if they're the main objective when there's a dragon right there. It's so funny that it's just so heavily focused. In terms of the Feats of Strength's benefits, seriously, if you get the Feats of Strength, do not upgrade your boots. I love everyone's talking about how OP these boots are. In reality, these Feats of Strength boots are not actually that great. There's 1 or 2 of them that give really, really good stats to it. For example, Boots of Swiftness are a terrific item on Yorick in general. Yorick top loves it. Yorick jungle loves it. I personally can't make it work, okay? Every time I run Boots of Swiftness, I die in team fights because I'm missing armor, resistance, I'm missing tenacity. It just doesn't work for me. But there's no reason to delay your 3rd item until after. Well, sorry. Yeah, there's no reason to delay your 3rd item by getting your Boots of Swiftness to a tier 3 rank. It's not worth it. Just get your tier 3 item. So go for Legendary 1, Legendary 2, Legendary 3, and then upgrade your boots to 3 if you want to. Personally, I'm doing it like 5th, 6th item at the moment. If I recall and I have exactly 700 gold and I have nothing else to buy and the components to my next item are miles away from me, I'm like, yeah, then I'll upgrade my boots, like maybe 4th. But right now, I seriously recommend don't waste your time upgrading it. It is not worth it. You're not going to get enough out of it. As far as Atakhan, the Blood Petal one is OP as hell, and the other one is OP as hell. If you haven't seen already, if you get the Resurrection one, all you have to do, and I'm going to put some videos post on screen now, but essentially all you have to do is just drop your Maiden bot, If you've got a base tower that is being threatened, so if you've got all the top lane towers, just ping everyone top and drop your Maiden bot. You have no idea how OP it is to drop Maiden in the side lane and then just brute force. Because if you die, your Maiden doesn't die. And if you've dropped her, she'll just keep pushing. If you haven't dropped her, she runs all the way to base after you resurrect in the base. So you can drop her, force the enemy to fight you. If you can get everyone to either die or to have to heal at the base, no one can deal with the Maiden. And if you die and your team survives, it doesn't matter because your Maiden's still bot pushing the base. It is absolutely insane. That respawn Atakhan needs to be gone. It needs to go. It is so ridiculous. In terms of the flower petal one, I think it is really strong. The thing about the flower petal Atakhan is you need to understand that to get full benefit out of it, you need to kill the Atakhan as well as get the flowers afterwards. So it's not just a matter of actually securing the objective. You need at least 10 seconds afterwards to kill these freaking flowers. So Atakhan is actually best gotten after you've gotten a team fight. So you shouldn't use Atakhan as like a smiting opportunity unless they're taking it. So don't try to do it contested. It's not like Baron. The second you get it, you get half the benefit out of Atakhan. Because if the enemy team's dead, you get all these extra stats and all this extra experience on the floor. But if it's a contested Atakhan, you can't aim the flowers while the enemy team is attacking you. You gotta get the team fight first, then get the Atakhan, and then get the flowers, and then respawn, and then recall to base and spend all your money you've earned. So I try to use Atakhan as a follow-up. So let's say you push the mid tower, get a tier 2, then back out, get the Atakhan, get the flowers, recall. I like that play personally. Or, on the contrary, drop Maiden bot, and then just bait Atakhan. Someone will eventually go deal with her, and all of a sudden you force someone bot, you take the 4v5 fight, they rush in, you take them out, kill 4, get the Atakhan after, and it's easy picking. If you're building Lethality Yorick, Atakhan is your worst nightmare. You do not want to go anywhere near Atakhan if you're Lethality Yorick. If you are Lethality Yorick though, and you're forced to play around it, drop your Maiden bot. I promise you, you do not want to be around Atakhan with Lethality Yorick. The AoE damage it does will one-shot your ghouls so quick. If you're running Bruiser, it's fine. It takes like 3 rounds of the AoE damage to be able to solo your ghouls. But apart from that, in terms of soloing Atakhan, Yorick can do it pretty easily. If you're Bruiser, if you're Lethality, not so much. I've managed to do a little bit of a cheesy strat where you can get, I think I've got 9 or 10 ghouls on Atakhan. It pretty much doesn't solo it. I don't see any way Yorick can solo Atakhan unless he's ridiculously far ahead. It's just not possible. It spawns with like 16,000 health. It's just not possible. In terms of other runes, you got the Sorcery Tree. Sorcery Tree has the new rune that is... Actually, we can bring it up here while we're here. It is this one here, Axiom Arcanist. Now, this rune, look, I did a lot of testing with it. I think it is a lot better than it looks. The problem is it's part of the Sorcery Tree. If this was in the Domination Tree, you would pretty much grab it every game. If this was in the Precision Tree, you'd grab it every game. Similar inspiration. The problem is the Sorcery Tree, I don't want anything out of this tree. Right now, the rune page I'm pretty much running every single game is this. And this page is absolutely insane. I love this page to bits. You can flex whatever ones you want out of this as well. But to give up this for this is just a no-go for me. It's just, this is just too consistent. This helps everything we need as Yorick jungle, and this has been buffed next patch. So there is so much you want out of this path. The problem with Axiom Arcanist as well is it delays your power spike till level 6, and even then, your ultimate doesn't do that much damage to champions. A lot of the benefits you're going to get out of it is actually PvE. So, like, let's say, for example, you're taking Baron. The interesting thing about Axiom Arcanist is right now, Yorick's ult, like, let's say the percent health damage, for example, actually has a maximum damage you can deal to monsters. So I think it's around about 66 or something. You can hit Baron full max. Axiom Arcanist actually increases that to 80, 84 or something. So you actually deal 84 damage per hit bonus to the Baron because of Axiom Arcanist. Now, whether or not that's worthwhile or not, I don't know. It could be, it could not be. But it's an interesting interaction that it takes that minimum and then increases the minimum rather than upping the damage first and then bringing it to that minimum threshold. I still can't see a way to make it work. If you like it, you can run similarly like this, Gathering Storm. This is a nice scaling page. Any server other than Korea, I think you could make this work. Korea, the game's over by 15 minutes. By the time Gathering Storm even gets to 20 minutes, my games are mostly over. So it's just not worth running. If you want to try my new build, I'm running Deep Ward plus Ultimate Hunter. I'm also going to be having a massive video come out hopefully very soon that will cover new items that I'm running. But if you want a little quick summary, essentially I'm running a Lethality build at the moment. The Lethality seems to be the best build for me on this current patch. I don't know why Lethality feels better. It's just taking objectives quick seems to be the best way to go. Killing people ASAP also seems to be the best way to go. Instead of basically playing Bruiser and trying to stay alive as long as possible and deal as much damage as you can, what you do is you build Lethality, kill one person, it throws the team fight out of whack, everyone starts scattering, everyone starts jumping on you, and whether you live or not, it's okay. Hopefully you live, hopefully your team cleans up, but just getting someone out of the fight when there's team fights every 5 seconds seems to be absolutely amazing for me. Compared to my Bruiser games, I think I'm like a 60-70% win rate on Lethality, versus Bruiser, I'm literally like 30. It's terrible. So at the moment, my build that I'm going, I'm pretty much rushing Axiom Arc every single game. And second item, and honestly, you can flex this whatever you want. I've just been going like Opportunity second. And then third item, I've pretty much been flexing in either Black Cleaver, and you can flex in Cleaver third, and then you just basically build Bruiser from there. You can go Spirit of Shojin next, but at least get a little bit of Lethality early, and you'd be amazed. If you like playing Maiden Drop, this is the build you play, boys. If Maiden Drop with this build is so bloody insane, it is crazy. The Opportunity is such a good item. I just wish it gave a little bit of CDR, but there's nothing you can do about it. Bear in mind, when your minions are in combat with monsters, Lethality from the preparation passive actually stays there. So if you're taking the Baron or you're taking dragons, you're getting 26 Lethality against that objective. It's nuts. I can't believe this is actually, no one picks this on jungle, because it is a disgusting item on jungle. And in terms of Axiom Arc, it is by far my favorite item in the game. You're going to have some videos that come out very shortly over the next couple of days or week, I'm not too sure, that talk about Axiom Arc being my favorite item. It is by far my favorite item in the game. The only thing to consider about Axiom Arc, and I go over it in my videos, but it's currently bugged. The way Axiom Arc works is you need to have the item before you cast your ult for it to work on that ult. So if you have the components and you've got your ult out, and then you recall, complete Axiom Arc, you kill 5 people, and then your Maiden dies, she won't have been reduced by whatever the cooldown is. It doesn't work like that. You have to have the item completed first, and then go get your 5 kills, and then when she dies, you'll have a really small ult cooldown. Some stages, guys, I've literally had my ult reduced by 60%, and then my first respawn ult has been on like a 30-second cooldown. It is bonkers. You pair this with Ultimate Hunter, and you have such little downtime on your ult in the early game. And I think that's actually the reason I've been having so much success with Lethality. It's because when there's a team fight every 3 minutes, because of these bloody objectives everywhere on the map, your ultimate not being up and not being ready to go is actually the reason I'm losing a lot of my fights. So as soon as I switched to Axiom Arc, started going Domination Tree and getting my ult cooldowns shorter, all of a sudden, it didn't matter if I lost my ult or I accidentally died in a team fight, because it would be up in the next... I'd respawn 15, 20 seconds later, and then another 30 seconds go by, and I've got my ult ready to go. So there is so much you can use out of Axiom Arc that just fits our kit. Once you run it, you get addicted. It is literally a drug. It is crazy. And that pretty much brings up my final point, which is Maiden Drop. Maiden Drop right now, you should be abusing it. It is disgustingly overpowered in this current patch. With the amount of team fights and grouping, if you can get enough CDR early, try to time it around just before level 11. I've been dropping Maiden at like 13 minutes at the moment. But if you're playing jungle especially, if you just start dropping it at 15 minutes in, you can just soak so much experience, so much benefit out of doing it. And you can rack up 11, 12 CS per minute and just take over games. I had a tragic loss against a Zac top, and I was literally just controlling the game with macro the entire time. It's going to be an upload. You guys will love it to bits. It was an insane game, and Maiden Drop right now is so much fun. You can play into it with Lethality. This build is perfect. This build is absolutely perfect with Maiden job. Just know Maiden doesn't get anything out of lethality because she deals magic damage. Doesn't mean it's bad, because Maiden's always going to have ghouls with her. You notice there's no Leandris here. You can just build Leandris if you want to. And you don't have to go the second opportunity. This item slot is completely up to you. If you just want to go Axiomarch into Black Cleaver, that is an absolutely fine item combination. The other item I think is grossly underrated right now is Death's Dance. Death's Dance first is actually an extremely nice item as well. There's so much variety on Yorick jungle, or Yorick top at the moment, that is insane right now. Death's Dance right now gives 60 AD. What you can do is you can pair Death's Dance first with Eclipse second, and because they both give 60 AD, the shield off Eclipse actually scales with AD. So you get this massive shield, which works really well with a Death Dance passive, which reduces your damage you receive and instead translates to damage over time. This item combination is so nice. I tried it out. I didn't have much luck with it, but it feels really good. And the Axiomarch opportunity, this build has just been doing my head in terms of how good it is. I love it. It feels so good to run. So I highly recommend you give it a shot. In terms of future changes or updates, there's quite a few bugs on Yorick at the moment. There's a few. Don't run TP right now. If you really want to, if you want to play full split, you can run TP. But right now, Yorick won't teleport. Yorick's Maiden won't teleport with him if he uses his teleport spell on the top tower, for example. Instead, the Maiden walks with him. Everything I pretty much tell you right now, Riot knows about. So I've spoken to plenty of Rioters about it. They know about all the bugs. The other one that there is at the moment is there's an annoying Q bug with Yorick. For some reason, his Q isn't leaving graves at the moment on sometimes. I don't know what's causing it, but for some reason, if you Q a minion sometimes, it is not leaving a grave. I've noticed that quite a lot. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but my Maiden in this patch, for some reason, is overstaying a lot. I've noticed so many times I've been in a lane and I've run away, and for some reason, she's just standing there attacking the target. It's like I hit my E on that target, but I haven't hit my E on it. She just overstays by like what I would normally think like a couple of seconds. So I don't know if something's changed on that. We'll have a little look around. In terms of jungle clears, I'm doing a little bit of a different clear at the moment as well. I'm still experimenting, boys. My clears, they go off the chops. I come up with a brand new clear every 5 seconds. But jungle clears wise, Raptors into Krugs into red is a really nice alternative if you just want a full clear. It actually sets up your second clear really nice as well. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with just doing whatever jungle clears I showed you in my Yorick guide. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it, because I put a lot of effort into it. It took me friggin' ages to do so, and I appreciate all the feedback I got for it. It seems like everyone really enjoyed it, so that always makes me eager to post a lot more videos, a lot more content. I'm going to hit Master, and then we're going to keep going for Grandmaster this season. This will be the season of Yorick. If you don't know already as well, Slogdogs is going to Korea, so hopefully we'll be able to meet her on Korea very, very soon. No duoing. I'm going to make it a challenge to her. No duoing on Korea. I know Incursio is going with her. That's another OS content creator, and he's an absolute gun on Katarina. So keep an update. Keep your eye out for Slog's climb. It's going to be interesting seeing what the peak is. And I'll probably call the video there. So thanks for watching, boys. Patch update down. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.